Thank you. My name is Ndima Fulgence, and I'm going to present the physical features in Rwanda. Firstly, we are going to focus on a river. What is a river? A river is a natural flow of water and move continuously across the land and flowing into the another water bodies like sea, ocean, and lakes. As you know, our country is a country of 1,000 hills. This means that there is many hills, valleys, rivers, which is important in our agriculture and so on. Let's go on the major rivers in our country. First of all, we have the two major rivers drainage basin. The first is Congo Basin. Congo Basin is located in the western Rwanda. Those rivers flow toward the Congo rivers. Major rivers, we have the Sebeya rivers, the Rusizi rivers. These rivers flow from the Lake Kivu to the Lake Tanganyika. Another rivers we have the Rubziro rivers and the Koko rivers. Let's go on the another basins, which is the Nile basins. Nile basins is also located in the eastern and the central part of our countries, our Rwanda. These rivers, the river flow toward the Nile rivers. The main rivers we have River Nyabarongo as the longest river in our country, and the Akagera rivers, and the Muvumba rivers. Let's go on the importance of rivers in Rwanda. And the first is the hydroelectric power. For example, we have the Nyabarongo hydroelectric power stations. The second importance, we have the irrigation. Irrigation for the crops and the agriculture. The third, we have the fishing. Fishing also is and help in to help to get the some foods like fish and the other foods. Another, we have the tourism. Also tourism and the natural beauties. Another, we have the water supply and the transport on the ecosystem. Let's move on the problems of the rivers in our countries. The first is we have the pollution. Pollution from the waste and this is forming some chemicals. Another, we have the erosion and the siltation of the river banks. Another, we have the deforestation. Deforestation also near the river areas. There is the deforestation of the river areas, which is also the problem to our rivers. Another, we have the flooding. Flooding during the occurs during the heavy rains. Let's move on the conservation and the protection of rivers in our country, in Rwanda. First of all, we must protecting river banks or by using vegetation and avoiding the pollution and water dumping, and make terracing and soil conservation protection to our rivers, and the reforestation near the catchment areas. Also, the government must also be in for managing the water resources. Let's also move on the seasonal flow of rivers. This means that the most rivers in our country are seasonal season. This means that the water level rise during the rain season, from the March up to the May, and from the September up to the December, and also it drop during the dry season or dry period. So here I tried to draw the form of rivers in Rwanda. As you see here, there is the hills there, and the other hills here, or mountains, and as you see there is the river flow. This is in this color of blue, there is the flowing of river, and here we have the hills and the mountain. This is like in form of river in Rwanda. As you have seen, our country is a country of the 1,000 hills. This means that we have the main hills and rivers. As I tried to draw, it's like in the form of rivers in our country. Thank you. That's my presentation. Let me call another group members to continue.
I'm going to talk about the hills. As you see here on the picture, there is trees, giraffe, and the waters. First of all, hills is an elevated area of land that is smaller than the mountain. It is surrounded by the landscape, where on the picture, as you see, there is a trees, and the trees, it has many importance for different peoples. First of all, trees, they provide oxygen, where the people use for the breath and animals. Also, it absorbs carbon dioxide, and when they absorb carbon dioxide, it helps to reduce the greenhouse and combat the climate change. Another trees, it is the home for animals, where the animals like giraffe, they can live in that areas. The next is it helps to improve the water cycles. As you know, the trees is the source of rainfall, and it helps us to solve different problems. And that rose for the trees, it is the source of foods and the medicine, where the animals that live from these trees, they can get food easily. Also, the foods, it is a source of income for the peoples, where the peoples get those foods through combining different things comes from the trees. Also, as you see, there is the waters, and the waters, inside the waters, there is fishes where people use as their foods. Also, as we have talked about the hills also have different types. There is residual, volcanoes, and the structure. Residual hills formed due to the remaining of different things like sand and glaciers, while volcanic hills are hills formed due to the volcanic activities that come from lava and ashes. The third is structure. Structure hills are hills formed due to the formation of structure materials like sands and glaciers. Also, these hills has different roles where they produce rainfall for the animals that live inside that areas. Also, it attracts tourism where the tourists can visit animals and see different things that are inside the hills. Also, hills, it helps us to know where the animals are located through use of different tools like compass, direction. Also, his has different roles in attracting the people who can see the animals and get the knowledge about the different things that are inside. Also, his have different roles in preparing the animals to search their foods, shelters, and other related resources. Also, his has another which is more playful about the wild animals where they can live in that areas. Um, his have another which is attracting the animals where they can live in that area so as to be a home for for those animals. Um, Also, here they have different roles in helping people to know the ground, which is surrounded by many things like sandy, pressures, and other related things that are found in the ground. Also, his enable us to gain different materials like the resources that are inside the ground, like minerals and other different resources like waters and others. Also, his enables.
Thank you so much. By the name of Bridget Wales, I'm here to talk about forestry. As you know, forestry is a science and political management of trees and plants. Also, I want to show this picture. There is forest. I would see this is our trees, large trees and small trees. Forestry. Forest is a large area of land that mainly contained with trees, plants, and the other wildlife. So I'm going to talk about more importance of forests. Forests have more importance like economic importance, environmental importance, and social importance. I can start with environmental importance. Forestry can gain carbon dioxide and produce oxygen for reducing global warming. And also it helps reduce soil erosion and produce clean waters. And it is a place of home of the animals where we see the monkeys, snakes, and the birds. It is where all those animals live. For economic importance, forestry produce timbers, fruits, shelters for the peoples, and it is also produce jobs like in the carpentry, tourism, and the natural management forest. And also it helps to gain monies for through trades. And also in the social importance, forestry produce foods, fruits, and shelters to the peoples. And also it is the peaceful place for people to rest, to make tours, and to get fresh airs in order to refresh our minds. And also I can tell you about the types of forestry. We have many types of forestry like agroforestry, urban forestry, industrial forestry, and also natural management forestry. Firstly, I can start with forestry. Social forest is about to grow plant that can sustain people needs. Others are agroforestry. Agroforestry is growing trees with plants or livestock on the same land. Others are industrial forest. Industrial forest it is about to grow plant for commercial purpose, like eucalyptus for producing timbers and papers in industries. So I can tell you also about the example of product that produced by forest, like it is like timbers, fruits and nuts, fuel roots, and also medical trees. Okay, I can also tell you about a sustainable forest. Sustainable forest means using forestry wisely so that they can grow again and continue to help us. So it includes planting trees after cutting others and preventing cutting more trees in order to avoid soil erosion. So I can tell you that forest is more than just planting trees. It is about managing nature for better futures. Thank you so much.
Hello everyone. Now I'm going to present the topic which is called Topographic Features of Rwanda. Here I have the picture of the lake. This lake is located in Rwanda. You see here, this is the port and the ship that transports people from one place to another. And then this is the land that is surrounding this lake. So after that, a lake is the large water body that is surrounded by land. This lake can be made by people or can be naturally made. Some lakes in Rwanda are like Lake Kivu, which is located in western near the DRC Congo, and also there is Lake Burel, which is located in northern province near the Ugandan border, and also there is another lake which is located in the south of Lake Burera, which is called Lake Rwanda. So after that, these lakes are very important for us and for the country in general. Some importance of these lakes are like the transport. As you see in this picture, there is the transportation of people from one place to another. Another importance, these lakes attract tourists so that they can give a foreign exchange to the country. And also there are other importance like conservation of aquatic organisms, and also they support aquatic life, which provides the food for the people in the country. And also there is also lakes provide fresh water for drinking, for irrigation in agriculture, and also they provide aquatic animals which can be used in different industries to promote some developments of the country. They also give a clean environment, or they balance the environment by reducing the hotness of the nearby country or near environment. Also, lakes, they can provide, they can be like the boundary for some regions, and also they provide they help fishing activities, fishermen to get income from those lakes. So as we know, lakes are very important to us. For example, in Rwanda, so we have to conserve those lakes in order to get more income for the country and receive the.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. By the names of Nitus Diadone, and today we are going to see together the topographic features of Rwanda. As you know, many of you, for those, I think all of us, we are Rwandans. We are going to see why our country is a broadly colored country of thousand hills. Is this true? Is this statement true? If it is true, let's see how this statement is true. Come close, please. Today, we are going to see topographic features of Rwanda, especially going to deal with the mountains. As you can understand, mountains includes many things like a small hills on it, like a plains and valleys on beneath. There's a plains and valleys, and we are going to see an example for mountains that are found in Rwanda. As you can see, this is map of Rwanda, which was emphasizing on only showing you where the mountains are located. And as you can see, this is mountain Karisimbi, mountain Bisoke, Sabyinyo, Gahinga, near Uganda, and this is mountain Rebero in Bugesera. But this map is just my hand drawing, so I'm not an expert in drawing, but I tried my best to draw it to make sure that I will show you something that I can convince you that is clear. And we are going to take an example of one of mountain in Rwanda and see what is in that mountain. It's elements, its physical features. I mean about its topography and something like that. And let's go here. We are going to take an example to emphasize on Mountain Karisim. As you can see, this is an overview of Mountain Karisim. If you can come closely on Mountain Karisim, we can see trees and the giraffes and the pigeons and the elephants and those kinds of birds. And we're gonna find the one which is called gorilla, or many times we call it King Kong, which say that I'm the king of the jungle, and that's one which is called gorilla. And as you can see here, even though it's small, but it's a lion. It's a lion which is also a king of a wool forest. In simple, it's a king of mountain. So this is what we found in Karisim, but not only that, we also found gorillas, elephants. Even here near it's valley, there is a shrubs. There is even small grasses where the animals like giraffes, like elephants, and the other herbivores, they just feed, or their feeding ground is near the plain of this mountain, because in mountain area it's very hard for them to feed because it's somehow sloping, so it's not for easy to them to to be to brace themselves on this included place. As you can see, for them standing here, it's not easy for them, but near, as you can see, it seems to be a plain or valley, so feeding here it's easier to them. And that is what you can find in mountain crescent. As normally mountain also is important in different things, like it attracts tourists. As you and if you remember well, I think in 2024, I think the the um, the visitors or tourists, they invested in Rwanda a huge amount through visiting different areas like mountains, to visit the gorillas, to to just see where they live, how they interact with the other animals, or even for people. They just want to know, so how do gorillas interact with the people? How do really live in the environment and something like that. And also, mountain is a source of different things. As usual, it attracts rainfall. We all know that. Even also, it's also a habit, or I mean a habitat for animals. An example for those giraffes, they don't come here to eat on, but they go outside to they don't go outside to take a bath. They also bathe in or their habitat, or we can say that like simply their house is also on this mountain. Also in gorillas, it's also home of gorillas. In simple words, it is like an ecosystem of many living things. And as we deeply wanted to see about the mountain mountain not only that are very important for people in different countries, it is also what shapes our country to be called country of a thousand hills. As usual, Rwanda is made of many hills and many, mountains, and we can say that someone can be confused why he's saying mountain carry symbol, and some of us get think that Karisim is not mountain, is a volcano. But make a very I want to make it clear on this. We can, as usual, all we can say that all volcanoes are mountains, but not all mountains are volcanoes. Cause we can say that volcanoes are active mountains, mean that at a certain time they there can be a volcanic eruption. The mountain which can erupt is called volcano. But in mountains we can find a dormant mountains which no longer or no anymore will erupt, and that's the difference between mountain and volcanoes. And that's what we said that we was going to talk about, and this is the end. Thank you for your kind attention.